Grass guru Jim Duver from Dynagreen and DynagreenInfo.com joins us. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, McGraw.
I switched from my lawn service to Dynagreen. I love it. You came out to the house and you put some. We put some fertilizer down and we overseeded or we seeded. And I got to tell you what. Couple of days, a couple of rainstorms, a couple of watering, and it just greens up. It's unbelievable how that stuff works.
Yeah, we use the fall starters, which is the first application for the fall. It's number 3 on your lawn, and that's a good green up, but it still gives you a slow release to keep it going for about 30 days.
Yeah. Okay, now, we learned last time you were here that if you're going to seed, fertilize. So can we still seed and can we still fertilize?
We can. There has been some washouts with all this rain we had.
Right.
So if your seed washed out, go ahead and put it back down. You have time left. So.
Okay. And you also said that it's okay to put another application of the fall starter down as well.
You can, or you can go to step 4, which would be the winterizer.
And the winterizer is more or less like the blanket on the lawn for the winter.
That's a great way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What does the fall fertilizer, or what does the fall starter or the winterizer do, actually?
Well, the winterizer is going to give you the long-term green up. So it's going to help the lawn now, but it's also going to be available when you come up in the spring and it starts warming up. It'll give you that spring kick.
Gotcha. And the other thing we learned is if you winterize, don't seed because you're wasting your time there.
Once you get down late in the season, you start putting down steps 4 and 5, you're probably at the end of the seeding season.
So I know people who seed and then hope it rains, so the seed just stays there on top of the snow. So you put the seed and then it snows, and then the seed sort of germinates over the winter. Does that make any sense?
They do. A lot of times we do that early in the spring, like on January, February. You'll see people throwing seed down either before or right after a snow for that spring green up.
Okay, so that actually works as well.
It now.
Yeah, it would be good, but we like to get the fall seeding in, and then in the spring we work on our weed control.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the rain. There's been a ton of rain over the last couple of days. What is that doing for our yard, and how do we fix that?
Yeah, the rain is, we've got way too much rain this last week or so here in St. Louis, and so you want to, this weekend, be a good weekend to come in now and get your mowing done. Because the rain pushes the grass. It's going to grow a lot more than it has been. You want to start dropping your mower down. Normally you'll mow high in the summer, but now we want all the energy to go into roots. So we're going to start mowing probably around 2 3/4, 2.5 inches.
That's really interesting because I just mowed yesterday because I knew you were coming on the show and I didn't want you to yell at me. And I was wanting it to lower it because I like the lower look of a flat top haircut.
Right.
I like that look. But I kept it high because I thought, but fall time, you drop it low.
Yeah, we usually mow a little higher in the summer because it helps with the shade in the ground and the drought.
Right.
But in the fall now we want to get the energy to go to the roots.
Right, to the roots. All right, so fall fertilizer, winterizer, seeding, mow low. How much more mowing do we have?
You'll probably mow throughout this month of October, so you might have another 2 to 3 mowings.
Okay, and then it starts to turn brown as it goes dormant for the winter.
It'll probably stay green. It'll stop growing. The growth will slow way down,
Right.
and then maybe when you get around the end of December, January, that's when you'll start noticing a lot browner.
Okay, all right, and now let's talk about Dynagreen for a second because Dynagreen. Talk about the company for a second, but more importantly, you create the fertilizer, and your scientists create it specifically for this region.
That's correct. Dynagreen developed for the St. Louis area.
Yeah, and you have phosphorus in there.
And why is it different for this area as opposed to?
It's temperature based. So if you live in St. Louis versus, let's say, Miami, you're going to have not only different type of grasses, but you'll have different fertilizer needs. So St. Louis is we obviously get really cold in the winter and pretty hot in the summer. So we develop each fertilizer for the season for this area for that purpose.
And you change it from year to year too, don't you?
We do. We always try to stay on top of what's current or coming up. We removed the phosphorus first, except for the starter, which you need phosphorus for your seeding. We also add things to help feed the bacteria that naturally occur in the lawn. These kind of steps make it a better product.
And Dynagreen, I heard on the radio, is the only residential starter with phosphorus.
That is right. We keep the phosphorus in the starter fertilizer.
What does the phosphorus do?
That's for root development.
Oh, I thought it was for like a soda. So isn't that a phosphorus? Isn't that for sarsaparilla or something?
Yeah.
No?
No.
Yeah, something.
Phosphate, isn't it?
Phosphate is phosphorus? I hope I'm not putting phosphorus in my soda. I
don't
hurting
think you want to
somebody.
do that.
I don't think you
That
do.
could explain a lot.
Yes.
What about gardens? What about tomatoes? Things like that. What should we be doing with that as we come down to the end of the season?
Okay, so we're coming into the winter season. So your tomatoes are going to stopped producing. Although how are yours doing?
I still got a whole bunch of Romas. I got a ton of Romas. Yeah.
Okay, good. But your fall crops will be coming on, so you want to have your spinaches, your kales, things like that can handle the cold weather.
Right.
Your garlic should be in now, and you want to be using still a good garden fertilizer. I think would be good, a Dynagreen garden fertilizer.
Right.
To keep it growing.
Yeah. Okay. And then you mentioned to me something a while back about potatoes. Do you want to put potatoes in now, or do you miss that window?
You could have put them in a little earlier.
Right.
A fall potato crop is easy to do. You
Right.
put them in, and they can handle some of the cold up to about the freezing point, maybe a little bit more.
Right.
So if you had them in maybe about 45 days ago, you would be you'd probably have potatoes for the fall.
And the potatoes, you just dig out of the ground. Is that right?
Yeah.
You put them in there, and they just grow under the ground, and you dig them up and you put them on the grill.
You start with that one potato, an eye of a potato is all you need. You put it underground, and it roots out and makes a whole bunch more potatoes.
Boy, talk about low maintenance.
That's right. And if you use the Dynagreen raised bed soil that we put at your house, you can go down and reach down, grab the potato, don't even know it's been picked.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what Dynagreen is, Jim?
What's Dynagreen?
Dynagreen is dynamite.
Dynamite.
Where do I get Dynagreen?
Well, the easiest way, we only sell it at the local independent garden centers.
Right.
So you won't find it at the chain stores. We also have a website, dynagreeninfo.com,
Right.
which will list all the dealers in the St. Louis area.
Also, a good time to put down tulips, right, and daffodils.
That's correct. It
Yes.
is that time. We need to get some in your yard, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yeah. And
That'd be
while we're
pretty.
talking about my yard, you saw pictures. How's that stonework I did on that front?
I think you had somebody come in and do that for you.
No, that's all me, baby. That
No,
is-
I saw his hands. He
Yeah,
did it,
right.
really.
Great.
it almost killed me, but I took that front-facing concrete that is part of the foundation, and I faced it with stone, and it almost killed. It took 2 weeks off my life, but
Oh, it looks great. It matches your other stonework really well.
I must break my arm patting myself on the back.
It does
was.
look good.
I don't know if I'd do it again, but I'm glad I did it the first time. All right, Jim. DynaGreenInfo.com. Also, your lawn and garden dealer nearest you. They're the experts. Don't be fooled by some of those other ones. Right? They all talk a good game, but they're not made specifically for the St. Louis metropolitan area, and that's what's key. Right? This zone, this climate. That's the most important thing.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And if McGraw can have a good-looking yard, thanks to you, then anyone can do it.
Dynagreen is McGraw-proof. I can't even mess it up. Jim Duver with Dynagreen, DynaGreenInfo.com. Ask for it by name with your lawn and garden dealer nearest you. Jim, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
8:42 here, Big 550.